Good evening, guys. We'll start. And one other thing is that our last class was supposed to be 3rd of October, but in any case, we have a couple of topics remaining. So tomorrow will be the last class. So today and tomorrow are the last sessions. You guys are there. Can I start?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So today's topic will be done in two ways. One very basic coverage, and then little bit more advanced. But both CI/CD and splitting of stories is a pretty advanced topic. But basics you must know. And after that, it's just a bonus. Nobody is going to reject you if you don't know the details on CI/CD or uh, splitting stories. In any case, very few people know. So even if you know the very basics of it, that should be sufficient. But I'll cover it in little bit detail so that in case of tricky interviews, you can clear those. Okay. So now let us get into CI/CD first. Where is the...
Sir, before going ahead, if you have any document that could be helpful
What?
regarding, if you have any document or something that could be helpful for some scenarios or some cheat sheets, if you have, you can share us.
Regarding what there, Deepak?
No, regarding this interviews, any cheat sheet or
Of all these PPTs is your cheat sheet.
okay.
PPTs are your cheat sheet. Okay. So
Okay.
they are designed in such a way that okay. I'll start. Okay, you are not here. This thing is giving me trouble since yesterday. All the cheat sheets are there in the... Okay, you guys are... See, if you look at the last two, these are blockers. Safe PPT, the entire PPT itself is sort of a cheat sheet. So if you all the 20 blockers, these are your day-to-day blockers, technical blockers. What is the root cause? What is the solution? I don't think we guys have gone through the PPTs on a day-to-day basis. If you go through it, this is you attend any interview and come back and you can find everything here. At least 80-85% of your questions for every interview will come from these three PPTs only. Discover most of these things. Okay, let's get on to the... So I'll cover the basics first, and then I'll get into the okay. Where is the... Okay. These are two things that you need to know. Why CI/CD? What is CI/CD? And why it matters and what is your role, and then we'll get into the details of it. So basically CI and CD are two different components. CI is continuous integration, CD is continuous deployment. So again, I'm repeating, the basics you must know, advanced topic you may or may not know, but I'll cover it. So CI is basically nothing but integration of your code to the main branch very frequently. So think of it like this, that there is something called main code repository, and then you will have your individual branches. Think of it like I am writing a novel. So there is a main notebook. Now I add one scene to my novel. So I will write it separately. If I think this is good, I will put it in the main notebook. So think that I am writing a 100-page novel. So now in that, I have already written 25 pages. Now I am writing the 26th page. Sometimes I will write it, sometimes I will remove it. But let us say now one page I want to add to my main novel. So that page I will put it into the main notebook, something like this. So CI is the practice of regularly merging the code into the shared repository, or which is your main code base. So whatever new functionality you are writing, you are going to merge it very frequently. So CI also has what you call automated builds and tests. So there is unit testing, there is merging, there is security test, there is quality test, all sorts of automated tests are there. So all of these are done. So why is CI done? CI is done to ensure whatever you are writing, it does not break any existing functionalities. And you are only integrating quality code. Then CI also promotes your early detection of integration issues. For example, you already have your code base. Now you want to push some new code. If there are any integration issues, it will give you the errors and it reduces the merge conflicts. Then you have a fully updated functional code. Then CD is nothing but the deployment. You want to, your artifact is ready. Let us say you are coding in Java, your jar file is ready. Now you want to move that jar file from dev to SIT. So that is where the CD comes into the picture. It picks up a file and it will deploy it to the staging environment. Why we need CD? Because we are doing incremental pushes. If you do it manually, it will going to take a lot of time. So that is essentially your CI/CD. CI is integration of your code to the main repository. And CD is deployment. You are deploying or putting files from one server to the other server. How it happens in detail, I will let you know. But on a basic level, if they ask you in the interview, what is CI and CD? CI is continuous integration. Frequently, as soon as a story is completed, you are integrating it into the main code base, but without compromising on the quality, because CI will run unit tests, CI will run integration tests, CI will run security tests, CI will run quality tests. So all those tests are run. If the tests are passed, then you will allow that code to be pushed to the main. Otherwise, you will not. So this ensures the sanity of the main code base. What is deployment? Instead of pushing the files manually, which takes a lot of time, deployment is automatically all the files are moved through CD pipeline. So now comes the real picture. Why CI/CD is important to the Scrum Master. This you need to know rather than the technical stuff. I will explain you the technical stuff because a lot of people are more interested in getting the developer's job and a QA's job. So I will explain you that also. A lot of times I have tried to skip it, but we all want to become developers now suddenly. So I will explain. No, I'm just kidding. But you still need to know a little bit of CI/CD also in detail, because working as a Scrum Master, if you know those details, you would be able to help a little better. That's all. But this is what is more important to you. Incremental delivery is only possible with CI/CD. It aligns with the Agile's iterative and incremental delivery principle. This supports that you are pushing few stories ever so often. So let us say you have a release of 40 stories. So you have a main code base. You are going to push 5 stories in one sprint, another 5 stories in one, another 2 stories, another 5 stories. So it facilitates incremental delivery and it supports transparency. You know which stage of the development cycle your code is currently in. It is in CI. So you ask the developers say it is in CI, they have pushed the code and now it is getting unit tested. Now you know it is in, functional testing is passed. Now you are going to deploy it from dev to UAT. So exactly where in the pipeline your code is, so that encourages transparency, and we are able to know. So maybe there is a deployment issue, maybe there is an integration issue, maybe there is a build issue. We know exactly where the problem is. So as a Scrum Master, you should know this. Why CI/CD is important? Because it tells exactly where your code is. It could be in the deployment issues, it could be in the build issues, it could be on a local machine resolving conflicts. But this transparency helps in getting the trust factor from the stakeholders. Then it improves collaboration. QA will know, okay, boss, this code is ready for deployment. Means they have pushed it to in CD. Now it is going to come. I should be ready with my test cases. Tomorrow morning it is coming my way. So once it is there, then once they have tested it in SIT, they will then somebody will run the pipeline. PO will know, okay, it is coming to UAT. So it encourages team collaboration. People know exactly where the code is. They will work very closely. Then it reduces risk, because if the code has any issues, it will not even allow to integrate it with the main code repository. So faulty code or buggy code or what we call smelly code will not pollute your main code branch. So I'm using little technical terms now. So as to give you a better idea. So CI will make sure that bad code does not get into your main code repository. So it reduces the risk. CD also ensures consistent quality. It will also do some sort of environmental checks in order to ensure all the environmental variables are updated for every code. So all these things, so these are the 4 things you need to remember. CI/CD, what is CI/CD? CI is continuous integration, CD is continuous deployment. Why is it important? Because it helps incremental delivery. It increases transparency. On the board, you can see which story is in which state. So that helps you in removing blockers. It helps team collaboration, and CI and CD both ensure the quality of the code is better. CI makes sure unit testing is automated. So if unit testing is automated, regressions are automated, the quality is better. CD ensures environmental variables are there, consistent quality is there, so time is not wasted. So the risk of not delivering that item is enhanced. So these are the 4 main factors that you need to know. Now, what is the role of Scrum Master in CI/CD implementation? So let us say you have a merge conflict. You are not going to sit with the team and resolve it. That's not your role. Your role is this, that you advocate the policy of, so if in a team manually they are doing deployments, you have to tell them that, boss, we need to start using CI/CD. Make them understand the benefits of CI/CD. Then you have to help them reviewing the blockers. I will explain this in detail. Identify what are the issues in CI/CD, lack of collaboration, lack of tools, and help them in removing those. Then coach how to integrate CI/CD into their definition of done. So before pushing the code to Git, as in before CI, what are the steps developer has to do? Though that will be DOD before CI. Before CD is happening, what are the things that he has to check? That is DOD. Again, that will help in your DOD. Then you have to educate the stakeholders that without the help of CI's properly working CI/CD pipeline, you guys cannot ensure a fast delivery. If people are manually unit testing it in dev environment, it will take time. Similarly, if people are manually deploying from dev to SIT, from SIT to UAT, all that manual deployments will be cumbersome. It will take time. Also, the chances of errors are great. So to avoid that, a fully functional CI/CD pipeline is your only option for a faster and a qualitative delivery. So you have to encourage them to use CI/CD. You have to help them in removing blockers. You have to support the team. You have to tell them how to put DoD for each stage of CI/CD, and you have to educate the stakeholders. There may be chances where they want fast delivery, but CI/CD is not there. Then you have to tell them that, boss, without CI/CD, this is not possible. So that is the main role of Scrum Master. Now, let us little bit understand the process in detail. So now this process will give you, so developer gets the story. Developer writes so feature password reset is the story. He writes this code in the local. The code is ready. The code is ready now. He has checked it in local. Everything is fine. He pushes that code to Git. Git push is basically the next step after the local thing is done. Once the Git push is done, he will create a PR for the code review. Once code review is fine, everything is fine, the tech lead says, I'm fine with this code. Then the code is merged into the main branch. Now listen, so what happens during CI is, as soon as the code is pushed, the CI pipeline will start. So once the developer finalizes the code in local, he will push this pipeline, the CI will start. As soon as the CI will start, it will build that code. It will compile and build that code. It will run unit test, integration test, and security test. If the tests are passed, then CD will be triggered. Otherwise, if the tests are failed, then these people will tell you that CI tests are failing. It could be a security test which could be failing. It could be a unit test. It could be failing. It could be integration test. It could be failing. If the tests are failing, then the developers will fix the code and then again try for the CI. So let us say the test is passed now. Once the tests are passed, the code is now in dev. From dev, as soon as the code is in dev, then you can either there is a push button option, you can start the pipeline, or it is automated. As soon as the code is ready, it will go to the next stage, or it could be a manual push where CI is going to be, once the CI is over, then the file will be triggered to moving into the CD stage where the integration test or an end-to-end test is supposed to happen. So CI to CD is not CD. As soon as CD is done, it will just pick up the file and push it into the next environment. In SIT, the QA will manually test the feature. If there is an issue, they will again put it. If let us say there is an issue, then again this guy will replicate the issue, and then again that process will fine. But let us say there are no bugs here. If everything is fine, then again CD will be called. Then again CD pipeline will be triggered. Then that file will be pushed to UAT. In UAT, the PO will verify the feature. If everything is fine, then PO will approve for production deployment. So once the production deployment is approved, then again the CD will be triggered and we will push it into the production. There are various mechanisms that are too technical for the scope now, but this is how typically developer writes the code, he pushes into Git, code review is fine, then your CD will be triggered, CD will have all these three things, then CI is done, CD is triggered from CD, the code pushes to SIT, everything is fine, code pushes to UAT again CD is called, it will push the code to production. So this is how this basic process works. I will break it down further and will explain you in each step what will be the role of I will give you a cheat sheet also, like Deepak said. Okay, one sec. this looks tricky, don't worry. I have a cheat sheet somewhere on this. Okay. Arey yaar, bullshit. Problem is, how do I? Okay, I have another. I can do a screenshot. No. How do I? One sec here. I can do a screenshot and then that screenshot I can add it to the. One sec. Where is the? Sec. Now it will work. Okay. If I do a done, then so yeah. Oh, very good. This one also has an option. It allows me to take a screenshot. Arey yaar, but why Zoom is coming in between? Bullshit. Okay, yeah, I got it. See if you are able to see a screenshot. You are able to, right? I have
Yes.
posted. You are able to see, right?
Yes.
Okay, that is good. So this is a screenshot of, this is a cheat sheet for your what you call CI/CD. I'll explain you guys in the next 5 minutes.
Still loading for me.
Hmm?
The image is still loading for me.
Yes, sir, it's loading.
Who is Omkar is able to see, right?
Yeah, I'm able to. I will put it on group.
Fine. Okay, see, these are the different stages. First, identify the stages. From local, your code goes to commit and CI. Then it goes to CD. Then it goes to SIT CD. Then it goes to UAT CD. Then it goes to prod CD. So let us understand each stage. So once the story comes, the developer writes the code and tests locally. But are you guys able to see, or you're still not able to? Are you guys able to see? No.
I can see.
Not yet?
Yeah,
Sir,
I can say I downloaded the picture.
You
Can
guys
see,
are
sir.
able to see, right?
After downloading the image.
Okay, wait, I'll share the screen itself. Now you guys should be able to see the screen here.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
So see, this is the first stage, which is local dev. Developer writes the code and tests locally. Let us say everything is fine, no problem. But it could be the code is not compiling, or the code has missing requirements. What we wanted, that is not working. What does a Scrum Master do? Make sure the requirements are clear. If there are missing requirements, then that's a problem. Clear up the acceptance criteria. In the local itself, if things are not working, have PO clear up the requirement with the developer. If the code is not compiling, if there's a technical issue, then pair him up with a senior dev or tech lead. That will be your go-to. Now, once let us say this stage is clear now, everything is fine, code is fine. Now we push it to Git. As soon as you push the code to Git, it triggers an automated build and unit testing. So as soon as you push the code, the CI is triggered. What CI will do is it will run a build, then it will run unit tests, then it will run integration test, then it will run the security test. It will also run quality test. There could be multiple tests it could run. Quality tests, something like Sonar Cube is there. I don't know how many of you have heard it, but there are certain quality tests which are run. Again, in all organizations, it may or may not be there, but some organizations, they will run a quality check during the CI phase. There could be a vulnerability test also to see if the code, if it's an internet facing application, then it could be that. But as soon as CI is triggered, it will run a build, it will run unit test, it will run. But if the quality test is not there, integration test is not there, at least unit test is definitely there. But typically all the 2-3 tests are there. So let us say here build could fail. Developers could come to you in the DSU saying that their coding is completed, but the build is failing. In case the build is failing, that's your top priority. Then make sure the devs sync up. There is some owner there, tech lead is available, or somebody who's helping out there. So let us say Sudipta reports that there is a build failure. Then all the build failures should be taken very seriously in the DSU. Assign a owner who will look into it, who will connect with who to fix this issue. You are not going to fix this issue, but you have to make sure that build failures are taken on priority and somebody is going to fix that very day, and your lead and your dev is aware of that and they give you an ETA when you are going to fix that. So make sure the devs fix this issue and it should be the top priority. If they ask you in detail, you can tell all of this information. So there could be merge conflicts, there could be test failures, there could be build failures in this stage. Builds could fail, tests could fail, merge conflicts could be there. What is it that you can do? This is what you can do. Then, so let us say this is fine now. Local is done, commit is done, CI is done. Now everything is fine. Now you have to code automatically. Once everything is fine in your local, the code automatically gets deployed to dev. Once it is deployed to dev, there also you could have a wrong configuration or an environment mismatch. In that case, get your DevOps involved. Talk to the DevOps team that there are deployment failures in the dev region and track these issues religiously. Then let us say all of these are also fixed. There are no problems. Then now your code is ready to be put into SIT. So again, once you put the code into SIT, there could be API failures, there could be database errors, there could be other code will not work. It is dependent on some other code. In case the code is not working, let us say it is a username password code. The guy says, is it ready? No, the story is still not ready because we deployed it in SIT, but the UI is not working. So what is your role? Your role is to make sure the Java or the DB guy talks to the UI guy, that cross-team discussion happens, removal of dependency blockers. If there is CI, this DevOps issue, raise it to the DevOps. If it is it is UI team, Java team, DB team, .NET team, there are different teams and they are having interdependent issues, then have a discussion and sort it out. Then let us say, so are you understanding it? I'll stop now. Are you getting it? These are the different stages in CI/CD. Then in each stage, what happens and what could fail? Whatever fails, then how as a Scrum Master, what is your role in handling all of this? You go through this 1 or 2 times, it will be very clear. But this is an advanced topic. Even if you don't get into this many details, you can still clear the interview. But this is just like a bonus. I know.
Sir,
yes.
Sir, I have worked in JIT's GIT previous company, but in my current company, they don't use JIT. They use some pipeline, separate pipeline that they, so it is irrespective.
Yes. Correct. So it doesn't matter which tool you are using. Whatever tool you use, basic logic remains the same.
Okay.
The logic will remain the same. The actual steps will differ from tool to tool. Okay. So then once the code is in SIT, then you want to move it to the UAT. So let us say UAT, what happens? PO verifies the code. Maybe there are gaps in the acceptance criteria. They wanted something, the code is working in a different way. Then there are issues. Then arrange a talk between PO and QA and devs and have a quick clarification. What was the original acceptance criteria? What is working in UAT? If there is a gap, how are we going to take this gap in future? Are we going to fix it now? Are we going to fix it in future? If in future, then add an enhancement story. If the issue is as per the acceptance criteria, then create a bug. So, and if there are issues like this, then do a retrospectives also. And why there was whatever we have delivered is not as per the acceptance criteria. Why did that happen? Do a retrospectives. And again, once the code is released to production, then your role is to see if there is any performance issue. Are there any incidents in production? Your role is to make sure all the production incidents are logged, and in the post-mortem, nobody is blaming. Omkar is not saying, hey, Deepak, why did you not write the correct code? And Deepak is saying, Sudipta did not test it properly. That is why. So that blame game should not happen. That is your role in this stage. So I have marked it very clearly what is the role of Scrum Master in each of these stages. So again, this is for a typical team. These things may differ from team to team, organization to organization, but on a general thumb rule, this is what Scrum Master is supposed to do. I hope from local to dev, dev to SIT, SIT to UAT, UAT to production, this is how the flow goes. In local, developer is writing the code and testing it locally. Then he is pushing the code to Git. Once the code is pushed to Git, then unit testing, integration testing, and build. These are the 3 things that happen. Once those things are done, then CD will pick up the file and push it into dev. Then in dev, they will again do some sort of a smoke test. Then if there are problems, so the deployment has to happen to dev environment first. If it is working fine in dev, then it will go to SIT. If it is working fine in SIT, it will go to UAT. If it is working in UAT, PO will say, okay, deploy it to production. So these are the different stages. In this stage, builds could fail, tests could fail, merge conflicts could be there. In deploying, configuration could be wrong, environments mismatch could be there. In SIT deployment, there could be dependency issues, database issues, API failures, because APIs also need to be configured in SIT. Then in UAT, PO will raise concerns because PO is checking the business compatibility of the story. He would say, oh, I needed this. This is not working like this. There could be acceptance criteria mismatch, or there could be bugs which QAs could have missed in CD, in SIT. So then, of course, you push the code. Once the code is pushed, then Scrum Master has to plan for a hot fix. What if there is an immediate issue after the release? Then you have to do a hot fix. Hot fix is basically a critical bug. Urgently, you have to push it into the production. If there are such issues, then you have to communicate with the stakeholders, and without any blame, you have to find out the reasons for those issues, and you are going to help that process. Okay, so I'll stop now. If you have any questions, you can ask. How
So
to
this is-
deliver in... No, Wasim sir, I don't understand your question. What is maintaining CI/CD pipeline? CI/CD pipeline, in any case, we have to maintain. There is no trade-off between delivering new features and maintaining CI/CD pipeline. That trade-off is not there.
This
Ah,
is
yes.
fine. So this I understood, but for the art level also, it is the same process. For the entire art level, suppose we are in safe environment, for the release also, we'll follow the same CI/CD process.
See, each team will have their own pipeline.
Okay.
Then ultimately, there will be a code for the entire application. Then an architect or some sort of technical guy would be looking into that when they are merging it from all the teams.
The Scrum Master does not have to do anything, only for their team.
Scrum Master is only concerned about his team's CI/CD pipeline issues.
Then it's fine.
So don't worry. And if there are issues, so there could be issues. Local पे कोई issue है, if there is a issue with local pair programming. Omkar is struggling to complete his story. Omkar sir, can you talk to Deepak and sort it out? That's your pair program. So if the developer is struggling in his local pair programming or guidance from the tech lead, if there are deployment issues to DevOps, if there are deployment issues to SIT, it could be dependency issues, sort it out. Cross-functional teams, UI, middle layer and the DB team, they have to connect together and sort out those issues. Or it could be environmental issues, then DevOps. In UAT, if there are issues, typically that's an acceptance criteria miss or a bug miss. If it is an acceptance criteria miss, QA, PO, dev. If it is a bug miss, QA, PO, again, why did we miss that bug? Sort it out. Then once the code is pushed to production, what could be the issues? There could be production issues. Arrange for hot fixes, communicate with the stakeholders, and do a postmortem. Why did we get issues in production without any blame game? So this is your overall flow. Again, don't worry about the technical aspects, worry about the process aspects. What is the process? Scrum Master is not responsible for code issues or QA issues. He's responsible for the process. You have to understand how the process works. Is this clear?
So I have one doubt. So in my current organization, so developer give us branch, there's a branch according to the sprint, and we manually deployed on Jenkins. Okay, so if any build failure, we have to face the delays. We have to go to the DevOps team. So this, as a Scrum Master, how we can handle this delay, because there's a lots of delay, and because of the testing will be get delayed.
So basically your CD is manual, or is it CD is manual?
Yeah.
CI is automated or CI is also not there?
No, I think CI is also manual. They hit.
Oh, you don't have a CI/CD, yeah?
They call it CI/CD, but that's why.
A lot of organizations call it, like India, we call it a civilized country. We are not. So exactly, we are not a civilized society anyways. In case CI and CD is not automated, then developer days will be longer because your unit testing will be manual, your integration testing will be manual, your deployments will be manual. So if everything is manual, instead of 5 days, a story may take 8 days. Similarly, your testing will also take, instead of 5 days, 8 days. So you can have longer sprints to accommodate it. That is one. The other thing is, if they want quicker delivery, explain it to them that not only you will get more time taken in this, there will be errors also.
Okay.
Understood? So, so you have to make them, CI/CD has to work in an automated way.
So this is the responsibility of only a DevOps team, right?
It is the responsibility of the organization to have a DevOps team, and that DevOps team will create this CI/CD pipeline.
Okay.
And this pipeline will be maintained by the DevOps team. Typically, 1 or 2 people from the DevOps team will be dedicatedly supporting your team. That is the ideal way of doing it. Or there could be a DevOps engineer who will be a part of your team, who will take care of any deployment issues. That is also recommended.
That's currently what happening. There are lots of teams, but DevOps engineer only 2, 3, so they're unable to handling all these issues. So we have to do manually. Okay,
all the unhappy families are same. All the bad teams are same. They have same issues.
Okay.
और डिलीवरी जल्दी चाहिए लेकिन 2 मिनट. अरे तो ऑटोमेशन ही नहीं है. If there is everything is manual, then how will the delivery happen? No, you are the scrum master. You think about something. I will think here. You understood, right? What is this? Okay. So Kiran, you are clear with the flow. Mohammed sir, you are also clear. I don't know whether Kiran is traveling or he's there today. Kiran is there. Sudipta, you are there. Okay. Mohammed, you are clear here, Mohammed?
Yes.
With the
Yes, sir.
again, I am repeating myself. Please, technical details, no. Process, yes. What is the process and what is Scrum Master's role? So if they ask you, if they ask in the interview, you have to tell them, they will ask you what is CI/CD. CI/CD is like a conveyor belt that moves stories from developer's laptop to production. Like in the airport, right? There will be a belt. It will go around. It will bring your luggage to everybody. Same way, I see it as a belt where the stories will move from a developer's laptop to production. You understood? From the laptop to CI, from CI to dev deployment, from dev deployment to SIT deployment, from SIT deployment to UAT deployment, from UAT deployment to production deployment. These stages should be clear to you. And your job as an SM is to make sure that things keep moving. If from dev to SIT there is a problem, you have to pitch in. From SIT to UAT, there is a blockage, you have to pitch in. So wherever there are blockages, you have to pitch in. You have to improve communication. You have to learn from the mistakes. If the build is failing again and again and again, and team is not bothering, then that's your role. Why are we getting repeated issues? You have to raise it with the tech leads, you have to raise it with the architects, and you have to educate them that we cannot have repeated issues. If repeated issues are there, then the team is not going to improve. And if DevOps is not helping, then you have to escalate. Let us say that DevOps guy is not responding to your team. Sir, can you please help? Then you go to his manager. Sir, looks like he has too much work. Can we have some help to this guy? Yeah, DevOps manager doesn't help. DevOps guy doesn't help. Then you go to your delivery manager. Boss, I will not be able to deliver things because frequently we have deployment issues in DevOps. I have followed the process, reached out to this guy, reached out to his manager, have explained him, but we are still unable to get help. What should we do? Like that. That is the role of a Scrum Master. UI और Java की integration नहीं हुई, वहां पे error आ गया, you cannot do anything. That your developers have to do. Your role is to, if DevOps team is not helping, if the leads are not helping the developers, then you have to educate them, track them like that. You understood now? And you have to learn from the mistakes which I did. I was little technical, so I was always getting into, let's do this branching, let's toggle off this feature, let's do this. I was getting involved with that. Ultimately, I got involved in those technical things and nobody did Scrum Master's role because I was trying to be a DevOps engineer. Then my coach gave me a scolding one day. What the hell are you doing? If your pipelines are not working, document those issues, escalate to the right forum. That is your bloody job. So that is the years of experience I am telling you. Your role is to make sure the process runs smoothly. And if there are issues in the process, those are owned by specific people. And if they are not helping, those things are escalated in a proper way. So that's your role. You got this? Sorry, 9:52. So I'll have water and then another very tricky topic I have to do because I want to do it today because tomorrow, if you have still any questions, you can ask me. Tomorrow is the last day. So we'll wind up CI/CD now. And now in another 1 minute, we will start with another tricky topic. How do you break down large stories into smaller stories? So I'll give you plenty of examples. We will extend this session by 15-20 minutes today, maybe more, but I'll try to cover those things also today. Yes, Abhilasha ma'am.
Sir, which kind of questions can be asked in interview for CI/CD?
What is CI/CD? What is CI/CD?
This is the question you're asking.
Are you aware of what is CI/CD?
Yes.
That's it. What is CI/CD? Can you explain me? So you will explain. So what kind of issues you were getting in CI/CD? So you can say don't say CI/CD was working perfectly and it was working beautifully. Very few organizations have a properly working pipeline. So basically they want to check, do you have the understanding of CI/CD or not? Do you know the flow or not? And if there are issues, do you know? So basically they want to hear if there are deployment issues in dev or SIT, you will reach out to the DevOps team. You will create a ticket to them. You will track it down like that. If DevOps engineers or managers are not responding, what will you do? If you are frequently getting build issues, if you are getting merge issues, what will you do? If production deployment has happened, then what will you do? Basically, you will monitor. If there are any issues in production for next 1 week, you will make sure all those issues are documented and those hot fixes are done. And if there are issues in production, people are not blaming each other. They are trying to find out the root cause, fixing it, and making sure in future those things are not happening. This is what they want to know. That do you know all these things or not? You got it?
Yes, yes.
Okay. If somebody is asking you specific questions, how will you fix the deployment errors? Then they need people for DevOps team, not Scrum Master. Okay.
Hmm.
There could be certain roles where they could double you up as a Scrum Master and a DevOps guy. But those are like 5% of the jobs which we don't want to get into. Okay. 95% of your interviews, if you know the process, that is sufficient as a SM. They will ask you, do you guys have a manual deployment or do you guys have a, main thing is that you have to explain them that with the help of properly working CI/CD, you will be able to make sure the deployments happen in a quicker way so that the development life cycle is reduced. Only then a 10-day sprint is possible. If CI/CD is not operational, then you will have longer dev days, longer QA days. Then deliveries will suffer. If you want 2-week, 3-week sprints, then CI/CD should work properly. If not, then deployment issues, integration issues, they will delay and there will be a lot of spillover and your releases will be impacted. So this understanding is what an SM should have. Is that clear? So they may ask you direct, indirect question, but basically they are checking whether you know this or not.
So both RMT team and DevOps team work together for the releases.
DevOps team is basically responsible for the well-being of CI/CD pipeline. They are the main owners of this pipeline.
Okay, so they just maintain this pipeline,
They
right?
maintain this.
Okay, but when it comes to the actual release, so
this is the actual release, right? You are pushing the code from local to dev, then dev to SIT, SIT to UAT.
So
Same way you are going to push the code from UAT to production.
So the release instructions and all those things, do we need to provide it to DevOps team?
So now when you are deploying from UAT to production, that's what we call release. You understood?
Yeah.
See, from local to dev, your code is moved. Then from dev to SIT, your code movement happens. Then from SIT to UAT, your code movement happens. Now from UAT to production, that code movement is what you call the release. Correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are two primary ways how this is happening. One is an automated way where you keep pushing these things. It will reach to SIT. SIT is fine. It reaches to UAT. UAT is fine. It reaches to production. But that's a very mature way. But typically, you will have a push button where somebody will trigger that pipeline once everything is ready. So let us say we are releasing version 1. So version 1, UAT, everything is fine. QA has given a sign off. PO has given a sign off. You had 50 stories in release 1 or version 1. All those 50 stories are fine. There are no bugs. PO has given a sign off. Everything is fine. Now, some tech lead will trigger that pipeline. That once he triggers, then the code will move from UAT to production. That is a manual trigger. Okay. And that trigger will only happen. There will be somebody who will be sending an email. Okay, you can start the deployment. PO sign off is there. QA sign off is there. Every sign off is there. Then the code will be pushed to production. But the code movement to production, if it is a manual trigger, it needs an approval from PO. It needs an approval from architect. It probably needs a approval from PM and couple of others. So there are 5-6 approvals that you get. After those approvals, then that person will manually trigger. Now let us say deployment is failing in production. Why it is failing? It could be infrastructure issues. If it is infrastructure issues, then the DevOps team will look into it. If there are integration errors, some UI code is missing, then your team will look into it. It depends on the nature of the failure. If the failure is because of the infrastructure, DevOps will look into it. If the failure is because some code is missing, some library is missing, then your team will look into it. Is this? Oh man, okay. Can I move further? I know it is little bit, I'm doing these two topics now, but fine, I'll do it. Okay, let's hang on for 20 seconds. See, these are all bonus topics. If you know all these things also, then you can clear any damn interview. What is a tough Scrum Master interview? Tough Scrum Master interview is they are asking you about the culture setting. They're asking you about CI/CD. They're asking you about breaking down user stories. So these, if they ask you all these topics, then it's a tough interview. Basic interview, your 70% interviews will be very easy. You have more than covered for it. It is only the last 10-20% difficult interviews that these are for. Even if you explain them the basic, what is CI? CI is continuous integration. As soon as a story is ready, you are pushing it to the main. Before merging it to the main branch, unit testing is automated. That's your CI. If you are before merging, unit testing is happening manually, then your CI is not automated. If your integration testing developer is actually doing that integration, there are no tools, that's a problem. If there is no security test carried out, if there is no quality check which is carried out, CI is manual. Manually, people are doing this, takes time, errors are there. If CI is there, it is automated, everything is inbuilt, and then not only it is faster, it catches the error very quickly. The quality of the product also improves. So, okay, now let us go to the another topic, which is the what you call splitting of the stories. So if it is a big story, you have to split the stories into smaller pieces. First, I will explain you what is horizontal and vertical split. So primarily, there are horizontally you can split a story, or vertically you can split a story. So if you split a story through technical layer, so let us say, let me give you an example. So let us say there is an e-commerce story. As a customer, I want to place an order online. PO comes, sorry, I wait for a minute. Okay, then otherwise I'm just jumping onto another topic. But don't worry, if you have any doubts, tomorrow we'll cover also. And tomorrow's topic is 15-minute topic, risk management. Tomorrow is not a very big topic, just 15 minutes. The rest of the 30, 40, 50 minutes, your doubts and any other clarification. But we have covered it so much that don't waste whatever you've read. 20 इंटरव्यू देने, 20 इंटरव्यूज, उससे पहले ऑफर लेटर मिल जाए, great. If you don't get an offer letter, 20 interviews, and in the next 3 to 6 months, you will be easily able to give 20 interviews. 20 interview hoga, the kind of information, these 3 PPTs and these lectures that you have attended, more than sufficient. More than sufficient. If you don't, okay, one sec. Now again, so let us say, as a customer, I want to place an order online. As a customer, I want to place an order online. Now, what does this requirement has? So let us say this requirement is from UI side, we have to create a order form screen. Then we have to build an API. Then we have to store this order information in DB. Now I create 3 stories. There is a UI story, which is to create a form. There is an API story that build order API. Then there is a story which stores the order in DB. Now I have I have broken down the story based on UI, based on API work, and based on DB work. That is horizontal splitting of story, and that is not recommended in Agile. So they will ask you, do you know? Sometimes there may be a direct question. Do you know horizontal and vertical splitting? The answer is yes. Horizontal splitting is where you break down stories based on the technical layers. UI story is different, DB layer story is different, business logic layer is different, or API is different. The problem is with this approach that the UI story itself does not deliver any value. One, you cannot test it. A UI story is ready. Can you test it? No. You need an API, you need the database story. This standalone UI story you cannot test. Standalone DB story you cannot test. So you cannot test, you cannot show it to the stakeholder. It does not deliver any value. Which is why if you join an organization where they are splitting stories horizontally, you have to educate them that, boss, these stories will not deliver any value. Standalone, these will not deliver any value. And you need all the layers to be complete. And that's a problem. Standalone, the story should deliver value. The story should be independent. It should be testable. Invest criteria. The invest criteria is not fulfilled if the stories are split horizontally. But in certain situations, you have to. What are those situations? If you tell in the interview, yes, I know what is horizontal and what is vertical split, and you explain, then they will ask, oh, is it all the time that you have to do this? Or are there any exceptions? No, sir, there are exceptions. I will explain you that also. That's the only trick the interviewer has. So horizontal split is when you are splitting the story based on the technical layer, UI, Java, MongoDB, or SQL, whatever technologies you have. So why do you not do it? Because it does not deliver value. Each story does not deliver any value. It is not testable either. So what do? You do vertical splits. You split the work in such a way that each slice delivers value. For example, as a customer, I want to place order online. How will you split it? First, you create a story where the customer is ordering just one product and with cash payment. Customer is ordering just one product and only with cash payment. Then another story, he's now with multiple items. You have just added one small piece of functionality. Same functionality, but now with multiple items. Now you add place an order with coupon. Now you add place an order with credit card payment. So basically, rather than putting all the functionalities in one story, you split the stories based on the functionalities. You understood? So no separate UI story, no database story, no. But split the functionality. Order it with just, so the one's first story should be just order it with one order just shoes with cash mode. That's it. Now another story, add multiple items. Another story, now add coupon. Another story, allow the credit card. Like that. So I will show you how this is done also in a different technique. But basically, if you are splitting based on the functionality, but each small functionality is, now if this story is completed, place order with multiple items. Once this story is completed, you can take it to the stakeholder. No? You can release it to the customer also. But standalone UI story, you can't deliver. So this is why we do vertical splits. What is vertical split? When you are splitting the story based on a usable functionality. Like a cake. If you the birthday cake, I can slice it, one slice, and each slice I can give it to every person and they can enjoy the cake. But if I give, Omkar, you take the egg, Deepak, you take the sugar, then that does not, then you cannot enjoy the cake. So that is the problem. So now, but there are occasions where horizontal split is needed. What are the exceptions? We have to upgrade Angular from 15 to 18. So UI story banegi, because database will not get an upgrade. You understand? You have to upgrade Java. You have to upgrade your Angular version. You have to upgrade your Oracle database. So if you have to do some technical upgrade, that will be a horizontal split only. Understood? Then let us say we have to set up this payment gateway, international payment gateway. But I do not know. There is uncertainty. I have to research. I have to find out payments gateway, authentication provider, all that research I have to do. So I will create a specific story only for that Java layer. They will find information on API. That story will not deliver any value. That will just an informational story. We need to find out more information before we can start the actual story. So spike stories could be your horizontal splits. UI specific research, database specific research, those sorts of stories. So technical exploration or spike stories could be your horizontal splits. Then infrastructure setups. I have to set up a cloud database service. That will be your horizontal split only. You have to set up a shared UI, shared UI login service. That service will be used by multiple small applications. So technical or spike stories, technical spike stories could be an exception. Infrastructure setups could be an exception. Upgrades could be an exception. I think these are enough here. Database migrations, if you have to from local to you are moving to cloud servers, then all those will be your exceptions. I think performance issues, maybe there are the UI page is not loading up faster. So you will check the performance in each of the UI components. You will create one story which checks all the UI components. That's only a UI specific story. So if there are performance issues, there are upgrades, there are spikes, there are setups. Those are your 3 or 4 exceptions to the general rule. If you are setting up some product or some project, if you are upgrading something, if you are researching something, those can be horizontal splits. Is this clear to all of? Again, I am reiterating, these questions will be your worst. This is like the last stage of the video game where the big dragon comes, and this will be very difficult interviews. So, but typically they will not ask you, but now you know, even if they ask you, you know the answer. So what is horizontal split? What is vertical split? If you split it based on technical layers, that's a
Horizontal split.
Horizontal split.
Horizontal split.
If they split it based on functions,
Vertical.
Vertical.
which is recommended
Vertical is recommended.
in Agile. Why?
Because
While
it
if it is-
delivers value. Delivers value. and
Each
follows-
story has to give value. Each story has to be testable. Each story you can ship it to the customer. Each story you can show it to the stakeholder. But there are times you need horizontal. When do you need horizontal? If there are
Upgrade.
Yeah, updates or upgrades.
updates or
Performance
upgrades
testing.
or
Performance test, performance issues,
performance issues or
patching.
patching or setup. You are setting up
Setup.
some. Okay, fine. This is good. Okay, now I'm hungry, but I want to complete this. I haven't had lunch today, actually. Release issues only, yeah. some team is facing deployment challenges. They changed the process before deploying. So the DevOps team is not allowing deployments to the production because apparently now these people need a design document for that release. This process is newly introduced to these guys. There is a communication failure. So I was doing that troubleshooting with those people.
So this also Scrum Master has to take care.
This also Scrum Master has to take, but it got escalated and people were saying your Scrum Master is a problem, or your then I found out, okay, this is the issue. So was this communicated to this team? A Scrum Master said, no, this was not communicated. I said, this organization level, this is a process failure. So then I said, okay, I take this responsibility. Whenever we are doing process changes, all these Scrum Masters, POs, architects have to be in one forum, and we have to ask them, is there any release coming now? Will it impact it? So that sort of discussion we were. So typically in all these calls, I am the first one. Okay, you can blame everything on me, because people are very worried about blame. Arey, you give all the blame to me. I'm okay. What will happen? Okay, you fire me. Not a problem. What to do? But eventually somebody has to take the blame, and ideally the blame should go to everybody, not any individual. Anyways, okay. So database migrations I have covered. Okay. Okay. Now where are we? What are we going to do? I have to.
We can complete tomorrow because you are hungry. You are not eating.
No, 10 more minutes. Spider is the last thing I will do. And then, of course, we will revise it, because Spider will take. So I want to introduce the concept now, so that if there are any issues, you can ask me tomorrow. So how do we divide the stories into, if there are larger stories? So let's take a larger story and see how we can divide it basically. I'm thinking of a very easy example. So let us take a banking domain. Now, so there is a technique called Spider. So let us say there is a story. The story says, as a user, I want to transfer money internationally so that I can pay for a service abroad. So let us say I want to buy a VPN service. Now, Indian VPN providers are bullshit. I want to buy a international VPN, Opera or whatever. I don't know. I don't remember the names now. So let us say I want to buy some service. So you understood. As a user, I want to transfer money internationally so that I can pay for a services abroad. Now, how do you split this requirement into smaller stories? Now, there are 5 ways of doing it. We will deal with it one by one. So SPIDR, that's your spider. SPIDR. So do you know any story splitting techniques? Yes, sir. I know Spider. Spider is the most popular splitting technique. Using Spider, we divide the larger stories into smaller stories. So S stands for spike, T stands for path, I stands for interface, D stands for data, and R stands for business rules. So we will divide the story based on a spike, path, interface, data, and business rules. How do you do that? It sounds very difficult, but it is very easy. Don't worry about it. So first so S is spike. So we create spike stories. So for example, this story, I want to transfer money internationally. Here I need to know what are the regulatory requirements. I do not know the regulatory requirements. Then I need to know which networks will work, what encryption protocols will work, which APIs will work. Do I need third-party APIs? So I need to know all of these information, then I can start this story. So wherever your team says they can't estimate it, or this is too big a requirement, they don't know the details, then ask them to create research or spike stories. So they will create a spike story. Then spike stories are created where they don't know how to build that functionality. They need to investigate third-party rules, data flows, APIs, technical know-how. So if they do not know the technical details, then they need, so you don't know how to do something. You need to investigate. You can't estimate because they say we don't know this. Then you create a spike story. So spike stories are created. They help you find the information on doing specific functionalities. If your team is complaining that they don't know these details, okay, create a technical spike story, find out that details. So they may need to find out the new technology or an API. They don't understand the requirement. They don't know the feasibility. How to do that in various domains that I will explain you. For example, in this case, this banking domain thing, now you know, see, they will research the third party APIs or the rules of international money transfers, all of that research, maybe for a healthcare application. So let us say, as a patient, I want to book appointment online. That's a story. Your team says that, boss, we need to research what are the third party APIs we need, or what are the government regulations on health appointments. So create a story on that. So let us say, as a traveler, I want to book flights plus hotel combo to get a discount. In Make My Trip, you have those hotel and flight combos. Team says we have never implemented combos. So we need research on which APIs to we need to build API, the hotel and flight combo APIs. We don't know. Okay. As a developer, I need to research flight and hotel together combos so that I can build this functionality better. So after, but these are time boxed, 3 days, 5 days, 8 days. After 5 days, you have to come up with the information on building these things. So you understood, right? What is a spike story now? Spike stories are stories where the team says they do not know this functionality. They need more information. So they will find this information. After they will you will create a spike story. Technical lead or an architect will create a spike story. They will research on these things. And the result of this story is information or knowledge about these things. Based on this knowledge, then you will start the real functional story. Is this clear?
So does it, is it out of the sprint or it comes within the sprint?
Your spike story is a part of your.
Sir, one doubt. Sir, what would be the time given for that spike, or the points given in that story, spike stories?
Who will decide that?
The team will decide.
The team will decide that. So let us say they come up with a third-party integration they have to find out. So you ask the team, how difficult is it to find this? They will say, okay, this is not very difficult. Within 2 or 3 days, we will be able to find it. If they say 2 or 3 days, it could be a medium effort, a 5-pointer. If they say, no, we have to integrate machine learning data into this. This is very complex. It's an 8-pointer spike story.
Okay. Okay, sir. Thank
But ultimately, it is the team. If they say this is simple, 3-pointer. If they say medium complexity, 5-pointer. If they say this is very complex, an 8-pointer or a 13-pointer. They may take an entire sprint to research on something if it is too complex.
Okay. Okay, that is also allowed. Like they can take the whole sprint for a spike story.
Oh, but it is a very difficult integration. Let us say it is a very difficult, complex requirement. So definitely.
Okay. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. So this is your spike story. Spike. Then next is your path. Now you can divide the story based on the path. What is path? Path is, I'll know, but before that, let me give you another very simple example of a spike story. So for example, as a patient, I want to book video consultation with my doctor. Now the team says what video platform to use with patient data. I can't use Zoom. Zoom is too risky. Can I use Teams? I don't know. What is the other platform can I use? And somebody says, but what about HIPAA compliance? Oh, yes, we have to find that also. So the spike story becomes prototype video call integration with HIPAA compliance. So you have to find which video platform is best suited, but you have to also find, HIPAA is, by the way, a regulatory authority which deals with the healthcare for US companies. So if you're dealing with US data, then it has to be HIPAA. So you are trying to find out which video platform will be the best. Team says, I cannot start this because I don't know which video platform to use. Okay, you research. You find out what are the HIPAA, you research what are the different platforms available, and each platform, is it compatible with HIPAA or not? So the outcome of this spike story is then you can do a demo of which platform you can use with whether it is compliant with the HIPAA or not. Once you come up with this results of this spike story, then you can build the actual functionality. So this is the example of a, sorry, this is, I'm giving you too many details because I want to give a complete idea of how these things, and this is it is one of the most advanced topics in Agile, splitting up user stories. A lot of seasoned POs will struggle to do it. Lot of seasoned, I'll tell you a very funny story. This happened last year only. I was at a conference, some Agile conference. And I'm asking some Agile coach, sir, what do you recommend? How do you split stories in your organization? He's asking me, he's staring at me. Then he's pinging me, can we take this offline? I said, yeah, that's fine. So if you ask some of your Agile coaches also or POs, they will struggle to answer these questions. So this is a very advanced topic. If you don't know this, if you can only tell horizontal and vertical, that's also enough. If you don't know great things about Spider, that will not stop you from clearing 80% of your interviews. So please don't think it is not a must have. Okay, it is nice to have. Remember the prioritization methods, na? Ki bhul gaye ho. Must have, should have, could have, won't have.
Moscow. WFSFJ also.
So this is a nice to have thing. So if somebody does not tell me Spider, I will not reject that guy. Unless it is a senior Scrum Master role or a very typical role, I will not. In a very easy language, anything less than, if I'm paying anything less than 25 lakhs, I don't care about Spider. If I'm paying 40-50 lakhs to some Scrum Master, then yes, you better know Spider.
So between 30 and 40.
Below 25 lakh package, if they ask you Spider, slap them, you idiot.
No, sir, between 30 and 45 lakhs.
Between 30 and 45, yes.
100%
they will ask. I mean, you should know. They will not pay you north of 40 or beyond 35, 40, 45 lakhs if you don't know Spider or you don't know testing strategies and all those things. Okay, I'm so hungry, but no. When I'm hungry, actually, my mind works better. You know, right? When you are hungry, you get into that emergency mode. Your mind is in an emergency mode. Your cognitive skills are even better. So if you really want to do an interview well, don't eat. Don't eat for a very long time. Just have sip water, or maybe juice. Mind works better. Dark chocolates also. Cognition is increased by at least 5 to 10%. You think in a very faster way. Dark chocolates, but more than 70-80% cocoa. Coconut oil also, that also works Caffeine, coffee also works. There are multiple hacks of that nature. But there are other hacks also, but I can't tell you now here in official forums. Okay, so you have to cheat sometimes, right? You have to gain advantage over others. That's how world works. Anyways, okay, where we path. Okay, path is, so let us say as a user, I want to book flights so that I can fly to my destination. That's a, what do you call, user story. So what are the different paths a user will choose? What are the different ways your user will use your product? That's our path. So if I'm a traveler, I want to book flight. It could be a domestic flight. It could be an international flight. It could be a multiple city flight. It could be a flight plus hotel combo. So these are the different ways I am going to book the flight. So these are the different paths that your user can follow. So you can split the story based on these paths. As a user, I want to book an domestic flight. So that will be a different development effort. I want to book an international flight. I want to book an multi-city flight. I want to book a, so for example, as a patient, I want to book online appointment. So how many different ways a customer can book? He can book a physician, a general physician. He doesn't care about, or it could be a specialized. He has a neck pain. He wants a specialized doctor. Or I want to book just a lab test. Or I want to book a video consultation. Basically, how do you use that product? What are the various ways of using that product? So those becomes your paths. Path is how do you use that? What are the different ways the customer is going to use that service? So as a shopper, I want to pay for my order. That's a requirement by PO. How will you split it? Payment is done through which are the various methods? Tell me.
Different gateways, Visa, UPI, UPI, credit card,
Credit card, debit card,
pay later,
Cash on delivery.
QR code.
my wife's favorite, cash on delivery, so that
cash
I
on
can
delivery.
pay when I'm home. So
Sir, new one is come, pay later. Amazon pay later.
yes.
That is also cash on delivery only, right?
No, that is different. That
Okay.
initially some loan they will
Buy
provide.
now, pay later. That is a
Pay
very
later.
and then those, and if you don't have money, then they will come and beat you.
So that you can you can do a UPI auto setup for. I mean, for that the interest rate is very less compared to credit card.
So basically, you understood this method of how many ways the product can be used by your customer, and each way you can split your user story. You got this? As a rider, I want to book a ride. How many different ways?
Different types of vehicles.
Premium car, small car, luxury car. What else? Book for myself or book for somebody else. That also option is there. Shared ride, handicapped. So there are different ways via which you can want to. So each way becomes your. So you understood, right? So path is basically breaking down stories into different user journeys. These are different user journeys. Please remember this word, user journey. Path is basically nothing but user journey. How many different ways your customer is going to use that particular product. So different user journeys. Domestic flight, international flight. These are different user journeys. Okay. Don't worry, 5 more minutes and then I'll wind up. Path is clear. Okay. Then interfaces. Interfaces is very simple. Interfaces is how many different ways, how many different devices your customer is going to use. For example, as a user, I want to check my account balance for a banking application. How many ways? I want to check the balance on web application. I want to use it on a mobile application. I want to use it on an ATM. I want to call the bank and listen to my balance on an IVR. So these becomes your 4 different stories. One for web application, one for mobile, one for IVR, and one for ATM. I want to book an appointment. Are you using web portal? Are you using mobile application? Are you calling a receptionist? Are you using a chatbot? So based on the interfaces also, you can split up the requirement. I want to create a UI interface for doctor video consulting. How many ways? One for iOS, one for Android. So based on interfaces, you can do it. So that is your interfaces. Data and rules we'll do tomorrow. Okay. I don't want to make you suffer more. So spike, path, interfaces. SPI is clear. DNR is left. Or 5 more minutes and we can finish this also and we can revise it tomorrow. What do you say?
Okay.
Anything.
But don't remember me as a very bad person. Okay, I'm not a bad person.
No,
I'm just trying
interesting. Actually, it's interesting.
Interesting for you and me because we are nerds. Not everybody is a nerd, Deepak.
For our benefit.
Okay. So then data splitting is a little tough. As in, I have to explain you through an example first and then I'll explain the concept. So as a user, I want to transfer money. As a user, I want to transfer money to different accounts. Do I want to transfer in rupees or dollars or pounds? So you can divide the story based on different kind of data, different kind of currency, or between personal accounts, between business accounts. Similarly, as a patient, I want to find out my health information. Do I want to find my basic profile? Do I want to find my medical history? Do I want to find my insurance details? So what is the different kind of data the customer is looking at? As a traveler, I want to book a flight. Domestic or international to user journey hai. I want to fly. Now, what is the different configuration or data the user can use? I want to book a flight for one adult. I want to book a flight for multiple adults. I want to book a flight for children with infants. I want to book a flight with special need passengers. So what is the kind of data or configuration the user is going to use? As a customer, I want to apply a discount. What kind of different discounts are there? Percentage discount, fixed amount discounts, buy one get one kind of a discounts. So what is the different kind of data that the user or the customers are going to use? So data splitting means that based on the data or inputs or combinations, different sets of data will be different sets of stories. So handling one type of data will be easier to handle for a team. So if I want to transfer money, so I want to only concentrate on dollars. I want to concentrate on rupees. I want to concentrate on pounds. So it is easier. So it is easier to test also. So that way you can concentrate on just one type of data for a story. Is this clear?
So for healthcare, you told one example.
Healthcare, I told, right. You want a healthcare example or you want another example?
No, you told one example. I missed that actually for healthcare.
I said as a patient,
Yeah.
I submit my health information.
Okay. So how we split it?
So you tell me. As a healthcare, as a patient, I want to submit my health information. Now my health information could be basic profile. It could be my allergy history. It could be my insurance details. Insurance details is different. It could be my lab results, my blood test, and other kind of tests. So these tests are different kind of data. My insurance details is different kind of data. My medical history is different kind of data. You got this, right?
Yeah, I got it.
So R we'll do tomorrow. Okay. So that's it. Enough. So basically horizontal and vertical split. And in vertical split, we use spider, S for spike, P for path, I for interface. Path is very easy. Different ways of how a customer uses your product. Interface is also easy. Different interfaces, web, mobile, IVR, so on. Data is different kind of data the customer is going to use. R is business rules, we'll do tomorrow. Okay.
So different kind of data means they will we split the story into smaller stories
based on the
based on the
data.
data.
Based on the data. For example, as a driver, I want to view trip history. So what is the different configurations or data? Trip history could be last month's data, last 3 months data, last week's data. So I just want, so I'll create a story for 1 week, 1 month, 3 months, or I want to view data only for the completed trips, or it could be uncompleted trips, or I want to find earnings per trip. So basically different configurations is what I mean by data.
Because mostly everything will be data driven only.
Correct. Correct. So what are the data types which are more critical? So the problem is too many data types in one story is also a problem. If we are handling too many configurations in one story. Don't worry, we'll
I
give.
don't know, maybe it is not very clear for me.
It's not very clear for you, as in?
No, how are we splitting it based on the data?
Okay, so based on, see, basically you are trying to find out what are the different ways, sorry, not ways, what are the different data sets which could come into the picture. So I'll ask you a question. As a teacher, I want to track students' performance. Now, what could be the different data in this scenario?
How much is he scoring in the, how much is he scoring in his tests, internals, or in the exams?
In which test? Daily tests, weekly tests, or unit tests? So that's your data. If you're tracking him on weekly test, are you tracking him on monthly test, or are you tracking him on quarterly test? So that's your, let's assess him on quarterly test first, then assess him on monthly test first. Then what are the different kinds of tests? What about attendance records? That's another way of tracking his attendance. Then what about assignments he is giving? Then that's another data. Assignments are also a way of assessing a student, right?
Yeah.
So assignments become your, so as a student, I want to track the assignments. So assignments becomes your one story. Unit test or monthly test becomes your one story. Attendance records becomes your one story. Different kind of data.
Okay.
You got it, right?
Yeah, I got it.
See, to master it, it will take years, not months, years. But this is just to clear it. Do you know this technique? I know this technique. Will you be able to give 2-3 examples for each type? That is enough. They will ask you, within 5 minutes, they will complete this topic here. So within 5 minutes, all they want is, do you know what spider is? Yes. What does S stand for? P stands for, I stands for, D stands for, R stands for. Can you give me an example for D? Can you give me an example for I? That way. Is this? So tomorrow we'll do R. I'm sorry, I have too much to cover today, but both advanced topics are done. Tomorrow we'll do a half an hour revision and do half an hour risk management. Okay. Okay, I'll do a quick poll, and Then we'll take up questions tomorrow first thing. Okay. Tomorrow will be, by the way, our last class. So I hope
Sir, Sir, if we want to contact you, we can contact you with mail, right?
you can send me an email and I'll respond here. Don't worry.
So mostly it will be after joining, not during the interview. During the interview, I can clear that is not only after joining the real test.
After joining, say you have joined, then I will call you, congratulate you, and you will have my phone number and you can WhatsApp me then if you have any doubts. See, I'll be very happy if I expect a lot of you to in the next 3-4 months to clear here, because all of you were very inquisitive. You had a lot of questions to ask, and you were very consistent. That's all you need here, consistency. And you guys, most of you, not all, but at least 60 to 80% of you, I expect to clear interviews here. I'll be very surprised if you guys don't. Very surprised, because you have a decent understanding of these things. It's only maybe you'll not be able to clear first 2-3 interviews, but your 4th, 5th, 6th interview, if you are not clearing, I'll be shocked.
Mostly product based only I'm trying, not service based. Service based too
No,
much.
you try service based also, yeah.
Okay.
What if they give you a package? Then, so let us say you get a package of 20, I'm just saying any number. So let us say they give you a package of 20 lakhs. Now the product company will give you a package on top of that 20 lakhs.
Okay, so you're telling for try service, get an offer. Then on top of
Offer to
that.
leni hai na, because us offer, see, let us say you are working at 10 lakhs now. Now, if you are working at 10 lakhs, service based offers you 12 lakhs. Then you will not be asking on 10 lakhs, you will be asking on 12 lakhs. No?
Yeah, like this only I got previous company. I tried HCL, I got. Then I got RBS. I chose RBS because they were paying less than it was banking.
No, but you get my point, na? By let us say my existing package is 10 lakhs. I want to join a product company. तो मैं सीधा product company में क्यों जाऊंगा? पहले मैं service company के जाऊंगा कि मुझे 10 के 12 लाख कर दो, फिर 12 लाख के ऊपर मुझे कुछ मिल जाए.
Sir, then if we get a package service company, then we can put the paper and try your. That's what you're trying to say, right?
No, I am not. I'm saying, देखो, जैसे let us say you apply for HCL से offer आ गई.
Okay.
You have put down your papers. During the notice period, the last 15 days, when you are an immediate joiner, that is when your real package you will get. So let us say, अब मेरे पास 15 दिन रह गए हैं और already मेरे को कोई कंपनी 15 लाख रुपए दे रही है. तो obviously last, if I am an immediate joiner, मुझे 15 के ऊपर ही तो 10, 15, 20% मिलेगा. You got me, right? You don't have to join a service company. You have to use that offer letter. You have to use that as a leverage in getting a higher package.
Got it.
और पैकेज जो 30 to 50% हाइक ऐसे ही मिलता है. You will not get a straight away. So if you are planning a straight switch, maximum you will get is 15-20%. You have to do this route. You get 20% from some company, and then on top of it, somebody else gives you something. That is when you get 30-40%. You got this, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Elon Musk is a good man? No. You don't make money by thinking right. You have to think very, I should not use that word, but you have to be very cunning. That's how you make money. But whether you want to make money or you want to work, fine, that's up to you. That I can't comment on. Anyways, okay, I'm hungry now. Okay, bye-bye. Take care.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.